So I want to do a video like this as soon as I heard the news. Just got home, threw on the computer and wanted to do this. I used to do kind of in memoriam type video logs for certain prominent figures in pop culture and geek culture that passed away, such as I did a Roger Ebert tribute. I think I did a Philip Seymour Hoffman one. I couldn't bring myself to do a Robin Williams one for the news site because that one actually kind of hit home pretty hard. I just couldn't find the words verbally, so I ended up just typing them out and creating a piece of artwork for that man. But yeah, that was one that hit me pretty hard. Man had a very tremendous impact on the way I view comedy and the way I view acting and, movies and so forth. So I guess I did a little in memoriam right here for Robin Williams. But with this one, I feel I can remain a little bit more composed. Not to say I didn't love the man for what he gave us in pop culture and what he gave us as an actor, but I feel I can be a little bit more composed when talking about Mr. Leonard Nimoy. Because from what I've gathered, I honestly didn't follow his career much outside of Star Trek. I enjoyed it when he was on Fringe and whenever he'd show up to kind of guest star in, television shows here and there. And even when he did, occasional non-Trek movies, I really did enjoy his presence. But this just always seemed with him and with the character of Mr. Spock, even though that role may have pigeonholed him in terms of a character and typecast in certain ways, he embraced it wholeheartedly. I've never heard, despite what maybe we probably heard in rumor-wise regarding egos on the set of Star Trek, actors not getting along and so forth. For the most part, he always seemed kind of above that, like he couldn't be bothered by that kind of stuff. And I never heard anyone kind of give a horror story of meeting Leonard Nimoy at a convention or meeting him in person and him being, giving off that sense of entitlement or giving off that sense of, oh, really, that's all you know me for. In other words, I didn't hear stories about him being a phenomenal douchebag. It seemed like he genuinely enjoyed the benefits that playing the character gave him and clearly understood how much he owed to the role and embraced it. He embraced the fandom. He embraced the mythology of Star Trek and of that world. And I just heard it on NPR while I was driving home from work, actually, when he called into a radio program and actually said, he has no reason to be upset about the role. The role provided him, in his words, he said the role provided him opportunities, provided him financial stability for both him and his family. And, yeah, just where would he be without given the opportunity to play of such a memorable character that we all still remember? That even though we have a new actor in the role for this new series of movies and so forth, he can't go one movie without having old Mr. Spock there to kind of guide the way. And that's what I feel he contributed a lot, not just within the realm of Star Trek, but within the realm of geek and nerd culture and pop culture in general, was kind of this guiding light of being an optimistic cultural icon. Like a lot of actors, you hear stories about, heck, maybe even Shatner to some degree, or Bruce Willis, or, you hear stories about them kind of being bitter about being singled out for one particular thing. Captain Kirk, John McClane, but he totally went from all appearances, he totally went with the flow of it, and that just conveys a clear sense of graciousness and sophistication, in the sense that he understood where he came from. And whatever weird stuff he did, try out there, the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins and everything like that, you know what? I can't fault the guy for wanting to just go with whatever project he had in mind, he went with it. I remember there was a time he was publishing comics for a while. Like, I might have to go look up some of those for a bit, just to see if they were any good. Yeah, I'll have to rewatch some Fringe now. But definitely, my my condolences, of course, my sympathies, and my thoughts and prayers, of course, go to the family, and who he's, taken care of for so long with just this character, essentially. And I'm gonna celebrate Mr. Nimoy's life, not with a viewing of Wrath of Khan, because, spoilers, Spock dies at the end. Sorry. But, yeah. But with something a little bit more joyful. Something that he put a lot of his creative direction into, literally, as a director. And that is Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. I'm going to watch that, and I'm going to smile, because not only is that my all-time favorite Trek movie, but I have Mr. Nimoy and the cast to thank for this, too. Some of my earliest memories of watching my old VHS copy of The Voyage Home with my dad when I was like 4 or 5, and he and I just, smiling and laughing at watching Spock try to blend into 1986 San Francisco culture. Just made some good memories, and I owe it all to the performance and ingenuity and creativity of one Mr. Leonard Nimoy. Rest in peace, sir, and live long and prosper in the eternity.